back in the Champions League with a bang. 4-0 to the Arsenal. Goals from Saka, Trossard, Jesus, and our captain, Martin Odegaard. What a performance. For me, the best performance of the season. But we're going to get right into it, people. Right, straight after the intro. You know how it goes, people. Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Good evening on this Wednesday night, this fine Wednesday night, not here in the UK with the weather, but based off of that Arsenal result, as you can see, I am chuffed. I'm just chuffed. I'm happy that Arsenal are back in the Champions League, and then we go and put in our best performance of the season so far on this big occasion. Big up to each and every one of you that is here watching. Now, make sure you smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Come on, people. I want to hear your thoughts in the chat as well. As I'm discussing mine, we'll be talking about all the big talking points throughout the game, key performers. I want to hear your man of the match, because who was your man of the match, player of the match? You should be taking that Champions League ball home. Well, the trophy, you know what I mean? But, bro, guys, it's difficult, this one, to call a man of the match because there were so many top performers. For me, yeah, definitely our best performances of the season as a team, as a group, but throughout, so many players, no weakness, no weak players at all. Everyone was excellent. And you know what? You smash a like button for that. If it just alone, how good some of the performers were there tonight. And man, I'm just really looking forward to this season. We got Spurs next, but you know, all eyes and all focus onto this, because what a game it was. What a performance it was for Arsenal. The game kind of itself died down after Arsenal scored the third goal in the second half. It was all about control. And to be honest, throughout for the beginning of the first half and throughout the first half, I thought PSV did hold a threat, and they were trying to getting a few shots off at goal. From the statistics, how many shots did they have? There 12 shots with 4 on target, and the majority of them did come in that first half. A lot of them from distance. Noah Lang looking like a threat going forward, but Arsenal just had too much for them to handle. And outstanding performers from back to front, literally from the goalkeeper all the way to the striker. Excellent game tonight from so many Arsenal players. Indeed. But before I go into the game and the big talking points, I want to big up to each and every one of you that's watching here live right now. I know it's a bit late here in the UK, and it might be difficult for a lot of you guys to be catching this live. So, guys, if you are out in the UK, big up to yourself as well. It is a late one. Those of you will have work and stuff, but those who are watching from all the way in the West, big up to yourself, because we got people in here. We got King in the building. Hope you're keeping good. He says, trust the process. Trust the process, indeed. We'll definitely be having a deep dive on Leandro Trossard's performance. My brother DG into the house in the cut. Guys, go, you know where to find DG at. You guys, you gooners, you know the man himself. But you can go check out DG's channel, and on the show that we do, we record. Sometimes we do live streams as well, but we did a recording of the Arsenal panel show where he kindly invited your boy on to talk Arsenal, discussing the games, and we have plenty of debates on there as well. So guys, you can check me out on there. I will be also on there on Monday as well, people. So yeah, people, check that out. You know where it is. I'm saying people for the man himself who says people. It's deleted. Big up to my bro right there each and every time. Bargav in here as well. Listen, you're absolutely spot on, my bro. There is no player of the match. It's going to be difficult to pick mine out. I'm going to need your help in the chat as well. Big up to DG, says King. Love that. Bargav, happy for every gooner who endured the pain for years. May we keep the energy for the rest of the year. Indeed, yes, we do. And the way we have been performing with a lot of control, Arsenal should do. And let's hope with injuries, we'll be on our side this year on that side. And yeah, there's been a lot of injuries already for a lot of clubs, and we've been okay. I wouldn't say we come unscathed because we're still that Timber, Partey and whatnot. So, yeah, but we're still keeping up these high level of performances. And I think we're improving even more. And I'm seeing a better Arsenal than last season. Big up to Noel in here too. Arsenal outstanding. Man United turned into a 7-goal thriller against Bayern, and Onana costing the game. We'll talk. Big up to yourself, Niall, as well. Fam, I couldn't watch the game. I'll watch it once it's uploaded onto Arsenal. How was the game? And this is the perfect time for me to give you my breakdown on to the game. And then, yeah, definitely check it out yourself. But as I said, it began end-to-end stuff, PSV holding a threat, but Arsenal looked a lot more sharper going forward with the attackers. PSV were affording the space. They were trying to press, not a full-on press, because you can't really do that with David Raya in goal. We went direct on a few more occasions, long ball switches out to the right wing in particular, and then trying to find Kai Havertz. But Arsenal were a lot more fluid in their motion, and that is a big plus and a big reason why it's Gabriel Jesus, and I knew it was going to happen. He was outstanding today, dropping in deep, with the flicks and tricks, taking difficult balls, controlling it, and getting Arsenal facing forward. We saw that straight away with the goals, and from the Arsenal first goal, it came from that right-hand side where Arsenal are so dangerous, so lethal. We haven't quite been at our fluid best there with Saka and Odegaard, but it was Odegaard working his way inside, getting the shot off, drawing a save out of Benitez, and Bukayo Saka finishing the ball with his right foot. And this guy, he keeps improving year on year as the level increases within the squad, as the level of the competition increases. So does he. Outstanding player once again, was brilliant again tonight, and that first goal opened the floodgates really. And it was a brilliant finish from Bukayo Saka, and a wonderful game. Once again, I said everyone was fantastic. I don't think Bukayo Saka is at his fluid best, but when the occasion rises, when the occasion gets bigger, so does Bukayo Saka. And what we need to realize is that what Bukayo Saka does, I think he plays within himself as well, because he knows how important he is on that right-hand side, and he knows the amount of games that he's going to be playing for Arsenal. So he has gears to his game. Well, that's what I mean by playing within himself. It's still at an extremely high level, still has ridiculous output. I'm not even sure how many goals and assists that is he's got to his name right now, but I know he's contributing literally nearly every other game, it feels like. And he was brilliant once again. And he had a massive part to play down on that right-hand side with Ben White, Odegaard interchanging, the sharpness. I think the pitch, the weather conditions, it helped as well. But the occasion rose, and so does he. And he was brilliant for that first goal. And then Leandro Trossard makes it 2-0. And that one was an assist from Bukayo Saka again. That's another goal contribution. But that one came from brilliance of Gabriel Jesus, nicking a loose ball that was there to be won, beating Armel Balakotchip, who we've seen have decent games against us, had a decent time in the Premier League, I'd say, and someone that I wouldn't have been complaining about if Arsenal were to look to bring him in as depth and competition for Saliba. But of course, we brought in Yuri Timber, play at a much higher level than Bella Kotchap right now. But he beat him to it, and he passed it out to the right at the perfect time. Trossard checked his run, doesn't make that run to the back post. He knows that the defense is going to collapse in that situation, so they can watch the space as Jesus is running into the box. Bukayo Saka cuts it back. Perfect weight of pass for Leandro Trossard to strike it first time. And can I say this? It is not an easy finish at all, what Leandro Trossard has pulled off there. But he makes it look so easy. With everything he does, from the goal on the weekend against Everton, with such ease and comfort, sublime finish from the Belgian. Couldn't place it any better with your hands into that far right corner, to the keeper's left. It was an absolutely wonderful strike. And once again, I think the weather conditions help. When you get the ball to skid off the ground, it adds the pace, but the precision is phenomenal. And this guy, what a signing he has been. And that's an understatement to put it in that sense. The impact he has when he plays, there's a handful of games where he hasn't made that sort of impact. Fulham, the start of the season, Brighton towards the end of last year. But it feels like that is the anomaly when he doesn't have an impact, whether it's a goal or an assist or just a big contribution of some sort in the attack. His composure, his technique off of both feet, his awareness and his decision making, it's on another level. And he's even once again gone further and improved in his game since he's come to the club. I did not know that we was getting this type of player, Gunas. I did not know. I saw the quality in spits and spurts. Brighton fans talking to me and talking about him on social media, saying, yeah, great player on his day, lacks a bit of consistency. It's the complete opposite of what I've seen. Great player all the time, and he's got a lot of consistency. And he's giving Arteta a real headache. And someone who performed in pre-season, a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself and my sister, because he's my sister's favourite player. Well, they're asking a question. Why isn't he starting games? Arteta should be starting, whether he's in that left 8. And I know some people aren't big fans of that, of Leandro Trossard playing in that position of the pitch. Should be playing on the left wing. Had a big impact in that game against Man City, obviously scoring the equaliser in that game. Was hooked at half-time against Fulham, and at the time I felt like that was the right decision, but watching the game back, I thought, well, he was even better than I thought. And if Saka could have finished his dinner in that game, he has another goal contribution. But the impact he can have, creativity, finishing, link up within the box, he offers you something different to a Martinelli, but it's outstanding. But what remains the same is the level and the output. We have some real depth and quality within this team right now that, I'll be honest, in my lifetime, age 24, I haven't seen before. I have not seen before at this sort of depth. And it really showed tonight. Missing Martinelli, hamstring injury, no worries. Leandro Trossard puts in an excellent performance. Another contender for man of the match. And then the one who scored the third goal, this one, the run was made for the second goal by Gabriel Jesus, but the run of Leandro Trossard, outstanding awareness and intelligence again. The IQ of this man as well is phenomenal. I can't. I'm lost for words talking about Leandro Trossard at times. We've seen him, Everton. He didn't come on at sharp, brilliant best. Warms up, gets into the game, still has an outstanding goal and finish. Aesthetically pleasing to watch on the eye, silky smooth, everything, every touch that he has, kills it, traps it dead. And then with this run here, I don't want to talk too much about Trossard because it might get too excited. It's late night, people. But it's a great run from Trossard and an even better pick out from Gabriel, who looks up. He's got the time that PSV are holding a high line at this point. As we look to enter, as we look to try and break through the lines. Great ball over the top into the left channel. Trossard holds it up, clips it to the back post where Gabriel Jesus controls the ball with the sole of his foot, kills it dead, and it's a wonderful finish from the Brazilian. And he should have scored earlier for me. I think from one of our very first attacks, in fact, where a ball flashed across the box, but he just couldn't quite make it. But he got the goal that he deserved in that first half, and that gave Arsenal a 3-0 lead, whilst having to defend at points against PSV as well, who, with Noah Lang being a threat, Serginho Dest, we know what he can do going forward. Defensively, that's why he fell asleep for the first goal for Saka, and that proved costly in the end, of course. So, yeah, they did hold a threat, and this is the Champions League. Of course, you're going to see people, the level of quality that teams are going to have a threat going forward, even though, yes, a lot of the teams aren't at the Premier League level, the standard that we have across the league. But there's some good football being played. PSV had a strong start to the season. We've made them look like Champions League weaklings. Like, we're making them looking like they're not a serious team when they are. They really are. And they've got some quality players within there, missing Sangare and Gakpo, of course. But still very, very good. And I was impressed with some of their players, but I'm more impressed with Arsenal and how we were able to manage those situations, counter-attack sharp. And then we did score our fourth goal in the second half with the captain and another contender for man of the match, Martin Odegaard. How we got this man for £35 million in this market, in today's world, is a joke. About to sign his new contract. What a man. Got his new chant now at the Emirates. Oh, I can't wait to go there. Need to be there this season. This ballot system, you're going to be doing me dirty by not allowing me to get to a game. Some of you might need to help a brother out, seriously. But Odegaard, out of this world. He from the very first minute, Arsenal are on song when Odegaard's on his level and being sharp, making decisions, being decisive, taking shots, making passes in the right situations. I feel like this at the start of the season, he's been taking more shots than he would usually do. And what we have seen an improvement, of course, in his game with his shooting from last season. And it seems like it's something that's been emphasized by Arteta, the coaching staff, or Martin Odegaard himself to even improve on his goal tally even further. But today, I think he found the right balance with passing and shooting, and that allowed him, that create the space for him to go and smash that in and get the fourth goal for Arsenal. Brilliant play from Reiss Nelson. There's honestly not a player that I can't say was brilliant tonight. I'll talk about each of them individually when I get into the player ratings, see what they brought and whatnot. And then I'll bring my player of the match. But first, I want to hear you guys' player of the match and your thoughts on the game and some of the individuals that you want to speak about before I go into the player ratings. It's gonna be a shortish one tonight. Of course, it is late here in the UK, and yeah, I need to get ready for bed. I've got a little bit of a cold as well, so yeah, I do apologise. I wasn't here for the Everton Everton reaction show because I did quite a few streams on Monday. So yeah, DG invited me on. I did a recording there. I was on KG's talking to the Man United lot. Yeah, and I was meant to do another one, but yeah, that one cancelled in the end. But yeah, people love it. Want to get to hear your thoughts. Those of you who watch the game, talk about some individuals for our best performance of the season for me, hands down. Perfect timing going into that North London derby, our biggest game in the season so far against our toughest opponent of the season so far as well. So let's see what you're saying. Bargav, Jesus, the biggest key, he's a real MVP. And Bargav, absolutely correct. Our attack, it's no coincidence. Jesus starts and our attack is back at its fluid best. No disrespect to Eddie Nketiah. He's just not Gabriel Jesus. He can't do the things that Gabriel Jesus can do on his day. He's the way he drops deep, links play, connects it, creates chances out of nothing just through sheer brilliance and technical ability. And I saw this stat going across at halftime, and I know he's only scored one Champions League goal for Arsenal, but scored more goals in the Champions League than R9 and Ronaldinho. Massive player. And we're going to help, we're going to have a dialogue about Gabriel Jesus at the end of this season. I've got some thoughts in my head. I'm banking him. Don't go anywhere, people. Don't go anywhere, because if he continues like this and we can see a fully fit season, I want to see a fully fit season from Jesus. We have to have some conversations about him and his level and everything. But guys, this guy's looking back to his best. It's all about staying fit for him, staying sharp. Outstanding performance from Jesus. And that's what we want to see more often. Blue Jays keeps killing those Yankees this evening. Hey, big up Moss Boss. Had to switch it up from time to time. G Staffy in the building as well. Says, haven't seen you lot in a while, so apologize. Absolutely no worries at all, G Staffy. I know how life gets. I know how it can get sometimes. But first and foremost, I hope that you're doing well. Let me know if you are. If you want to talk deeper about it or anything. Yeah, we got Discord and that. But big up to yourself, G Staffy, OG in the community. Well, guys, those of you are OGs in here, big up to G Staffy herself. You know what I mean? So the fact that she's in here right now, big up to yourself entirely. Love to see you in here. And I hope you're keeping good and the family's good. Bargav, only sad part, Havertz didn't get the goal. Him and Jesus in time. Aye. We'll talk more about Havertz in a bit, but he was good tonight. Some touches, link-up play, confidence, outside of the box, he's getting there. Not quite in the box. I think he's lacking some confidence when he's in the final third a little bit more, but his movement's excellent. He's touches. Guys, people laugh at this guy. Oh, what does he bring? He doesn't bring anything. Go watch the game back. Go watch how he plucked the ball out of the air, out over his shoulder, defender on him, Jesus-esque. Yeah. And don't tell me that this guy's got no technique, has got nothing to his game. Chelsea fans will brainwash you, telling certain players are crap because their club is a mess. I'm sorry. Chelsea make me angry. Yeah, because no, Jorginho, I don't want him. He's washed. I don't. Have a look at him now. Comes on at impact, finishes like almost every game. And then when it's a big game and we need him, he turns up as well. Mate, don't let Chelsea fool you. Don't let these rival fans fool you about this, because Kai Havertz is getting there and he's improving. It just seems like he is improving game by game. We're seeing much more reasons why Arteta has brought him in and why he's playing him into the midfield in particular as well. Arsenal Arsenal and Odegaard are great. I knew Moss was always going to back his boy Odegaard, but he was fantastic again tonight. Good evening to yourself, Mrs. W, in here as well. Bargav thinks Odegaard is just average. What? It's definitely no way. And he thinks more Gunners would agree with him. Moss, I am just not a fanboy of Odegaard. Bargav, we're going to need to have a conversation. We're going to need to have a dialogue. I'm going to need to know why. I'm going to need to question you on that, my boy. But big up to yourself. Think I know a player on a see. And you know, when you say this to Moss, hey, he'll make sure he'll let you know, and he won't let you forget about it as well. At this point in my life, still best 30 mil Arsenal ever spent on Odegaard. Can't complain about that. Indeed. Trossard timing, skill, great today. Well done, White, today too. 100%. Big shout out to Ben White. Excellent on the weekends. Excellent again today. We'll talk more in depth about him as well. Who's Drew's favorite Arsenal player now? His favorite is Bukayo Saka, of course. He's got no choice really, because he's my favorite. But an obscure favorite, which his second favorite player is Takehiro Tomiyasu. He loves Japanese people, and he loves Takehiro Tomiyasu. And another good performance again, much more confident, much better from Tomiyasu. This is what we like to be seeing. Whereas Bird says, when you're as old as me and Mr. W, we can say we've seen some real class players over the years, Mr. T. Indeed, yes, you have indeed. You've seen more class players wear the mighty red and white than I have, and better players than I have as well. Just, yeah, unfortunate for me. But now, yeah, you've seen them live. I've seen them on the playbacks. Yep, and there's Moss listing some of them there. Alpha Wolf in the place. Big up Dan in the building. Says, I've dropped a like, but I'm shattered. So we'll watch on playback. What an evening, everyone. Come on, you Gunners. We're back at the main table. Indeed, Alpha Wolf. This is what I love to hear. Enjoy. Yeah, I hope you had a good night's sleep when you are watching this back, my brother. And yo, let me know in the comments who your man of the match was as well, if you don't mind as well, my bro. But yeah, excellent performance from us all. And we are back at the main table. Hearing that Champions League music gave me goosebumps. And when it ended, I literally had a shiver of like real excitement. It is emotional when you hear it, and you could hear the fans' emotion, seeing clips on Twitter of people, you know, almost breaking down, crying, because we have been through the mud. We have to be grateful as well, because there's other clubs that have been through the mud worse, and they have been in the Champions League, Man United, but yeah, and Tottenham. But Arsenal back at the main table, and early days, but one of the best performances in the first game week, that's for sure. That's against that. We made them look like they were nothing, but PSV aren't that bad. Some of the football I saw them play, I was pretty impressed. But Arsenal just outstanding and class. Speaking of class, Odegaard is absolutely class. Was saying way before we signed him permanently to pay the money, because I could see how good he was going to be. And that wasn't everyone's thoughts, though. It was definitely mine. I wanted Odegaard over Maddison. And I like James Maddison, and I've been one of his biggest supporters, but I just saw the ability that Odegaard had. Once he found a home, once he had somewhere that he could be settled and show his leadership skills, and somewhere that he got consistent minutes. For me, I saw it in the cameos against Olympiacos and West Ham and even Spurs. in that lockdown period when we were nowhere near this level. Indeed. So yeah, definitely. Let me have a look. Wes Bird's asking a great question there. I'll get into that. Let me just start some of these in here as I just get into the player ratings. And then we'll get back into this because we've got some great topics. Anyone else got any more questions? Just as I run through the player ratings and I give my ratings out, then a little words on certain key performers out there tonight. Before I do so, make sure you smash a like button on if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new. I've got plenty of content. I do more than just Arsenal content, Premier League content. I've got the Premier League preview show. I'm going to make add some slight adjustments to it. Well, when I say adjustments, I'm just trying to add a little bit more things to be more creative. I've got some more ideas that do you know where they actually came? In the shower as well. Not that you needed to know that. What you mean? I was thinking about the channel in the shower and the Premier League preview show in particular. Trying to add some more bits into that there. But yeah, I'm hoping that you'll like some of the adjustments and hopefully we'll be getting more guests on as well. I want to be getting guests on a weekly basis and then having their own sort of separate predictions. Even if it's some of you that do have your predictions in here, I'd love to get some of you guys in the chat on for it as well. I know a lot of you will be interested in it too. And yeah, it would be great to have you on the channel talking about the Premier League. But let's talk about the player ratings tonight. Arsenal's number 22 in goal, David. Before I go to that, thanks for sharing with us. See, exactly. I'm sorry. I like to go off a tangent and have a little waffle. David Raya, outstanding tonight. The calmness he just has when he's in goal with possession, claiming crosses, saving shots, no thrills, no spills. And that just gives the defense a lot more assurance. And you can see that the defenders are just a bit more confident with David Raya in there, especially at home, especially in those home games, because that's where we have looked at our weakest. And my only criticism of I don't actually think there's much that David Raya brings. There's not a big, massive difference, but it does make a big difference throughout the rest of the team in their ability. Because with it, we've seen Aaron Ramsdale's distribution. It's top when he's on his day, when he's confident. We've seen his shot stopping ability. We've seen him even come and claim for crosses as well. He's better. I remember seeing the difference from Ramsdale and Leno, and that was stark to me. But David Raya just seems to have a lot more maturity and confidence and calmness and level-headedness. And he excels more with his crosses. I think he's better than Ramsdale at claiming crosses. That's probably the biggest difference between them both. Calmness in his distribution. Just even how he saves the ball. It just gives it's not like he's doing anything for the camera, makes things seem harder than they are, makes some of the saves seem a lot easier than they were, to be quite honest with you. In possession with his long balls, his diagonals, out to Saka, out to Havertz, were on point, even to Jesus. You can see the quality and why it was such a threat and why opponents didn't oppress him when he was at Brentford, and hence why Brentford were able to score a lot of goals with Ivan Toney, who has been linked with us, and we'll probably have a little word on that at the end. But David Raya, just to answer this question, does Ramsdale come back in Sunday then? Not for me at all. No chance. And it's harsh to say that because there wasn't really anything of note where Aaron Ramsdale, he's not thrown a ball in his back of the net. It's not been a point of contention where, now he has to come out and David Raya comes back in. It was a bit of a surprise for a lot of fans. Not all, because I was speaking to Ojo. Shout out to Ojo, man. He predicted that Raya would come in for the Everton game. But yeah, I was a bit baffled at the time. I'm not baffled about the signing. I understood it, but so early. And what I've seen in the Everton game and against PSV has to keep his place. Ramsdale's going to have to fight and earn that place back. he will be given them plenty of opportunities. We've got the Carabao Cup next week, Wednesday. We've got plenty of other games coming thick and fast as well. Pause. But David Raya holds that position for me. And against Spurs, who will press us, who will try and play in behind us with their runners like Son, Richarlison, Maddison being direct, we need someone who's very quick and agile off of his line. And someone to claim crosses as Spurs will attack us from set pieces or going out wide. I think he just gives us that more assurance. And after you keep 2 clean sheets and have fantastic performances, you can't be getting dropped. Outstanding goalkeeper, David Raya, one of the best goalkeepers in the league. And I think the same goes for Aaron Ramsdale as well. But just at this moment, it's a level above. And it's more to do with the mentality and how he just gives you that calm and ease at the back rather than the actual ability of both goalkeepers. And yeah, I just thought with Ramsdale was a bit more jittery, and this is overthinking it to the and not overthinking it, but scrutinizing it to the absolute max. Really fine tooth picking. Is that a phrase? Just like I'm really going into it because that's to win a Premier League at the level now or win the Champions League, compete across all these competitions, there isn't really much that Arsenal can go up levels to. But there are little increments that we can make. And David Raya has given us a boost in that aspect. And that's why we've kept 2 clean sheets in a row in the games that he has played. So that's the David Raya chat. Done. I'll probably whiz through the defenders a little bit more. The best defender for the night was the one who picked up a yellow card, but Benjamin White. Going forward, David Raya, what I'm going to give him, I'm going to give David Raya an 8. Not many players aren't really going to get much lower than a 7 or a 6 tonight. 6 might be the lowest, but David Raya for me gets an 8. Benjamin White, 8 again for me. If I did 0.5s, I'd give him an 8.5. A threat going forward, had so much energy. You could see him get cramping up towards the end. His runs, his defensive 1v1s against Noah Lang, who's a tough opponent and PSV's biggest threat on the night. He was dealing with that in a difficult environment. It reminded me of when he came up against Wilfried Zaha against Crystal Palace. When he did that against Crystal Palace, there was scrutiny there, but I just thought it was against a tough opponent in Zaha. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But overall, Benjamin White didn't really give him a sniff with the combination of William Saliba out there. Dealt with him much better than he did deal with Marcus Rashford in that one moment. And actually, how we dealt Marcus Rashford in the Man United game. But Ben White, I'm going to give him 8 for me. 8. William Saliba, the second best out of the defenders in their defensive aspect for me. I'm going to have to give him a 8 again. I can't give him lower than Ben White. 8 for Saliba. Brilliant. Rolls Royce. So calm in possession. You saw him have a few little touches and dribbles. Makes your heart race at times, but he doesn't seem to make his race. We have a lot of calmness and assurance back there. Gabriel had a big part to play in that third. So many goals, I'm starting to forget which one it was. But now he had a big part to play in one of the goals with that long ball. Was brilliant again tonight. Aggressive. Didn't give Luke de Jong, who has caused us problems in the Europa League at home last season and away. Of course, he did score against us at PSV's ground, which is in the Philips Stadium, I believe. See, good knowledge there. That's just off the top of the dome. I haven't seen it recently. But yeah, Gabriel, another 8. Strong. Our centre-back partnership is back. Make sure you know that it is back. And it was only out there for a period of time. And we still might see some chopping and changing there for certain fixtures. I think we might have seen, with Urian Timber, if he was fit, I think we might see Gabriel drop out a little bit more and play that 3 at the back. And if Partey was fit as well, of course. But no, 8 for Gabriel for me. Zinchenko, oh my days. I have to give him an 8. I've literally given all 5 of our back 5 an 8 so far for different reasons. Zinchenko, Johan Bakayoko, another threat, direct runners. He attracted a lot of interest in the summer. Bakayoko from the likes of Burnley, Brentford were interested in him too. He decided to stay. I'm going to have to give him an 8 again. I defensively had some good 1v1 battles, got beaten a couple of times, but that's going to be the case with Zinchenko. But the reason why he plays and he's so important for us is what he can bring for us going forward. Breaking those lines, roaming in and around the midfield, taking a lot more spaces on that right side. King tagged me in the pass map that he had against Everton. It was sublime. This is not a fullback. This is an outstanding footballer, one of the best technical footballers in the league. I'm saying now, I'm not speaking in hyperbole either. Press resistance is an understatement again. That can't typify how good this man is. We know his weaknesses defensively. He knows it. He's spoken about it, but it completely negates that when you're so good at going forward, breaking the lines, and getting Arsenal I'm trying to go for too many big words tonight. It's late. But yeah, starting so many attacks, being the engine of them. Let's just say that. But yeah, Alexander Zinchenko on 8 for me. Declan Rice. Now this is probably the lowest I'm going to go. I'm going to give him a 7, and that's the lowest I'm going to go tonight. And this was Declan Rice's worst performance for Arsenal, and it's not even that bad. When I say that, don't panic. Those of you who haven't quite watched the game, or those who did watch the game, thinking, "What? I can't be saying that," because he's just been outstanding, so good in his early days at Arsenal. But I didn't think this was his greatest performance. He looked a bit sloppy with some of his passes. I know. Yeah, there was one in the second half. No, it was in the first half where he just booted it out for a throw in. I didn't think he was at his fluid best. It got taken off for Jorginho, and I think maybe it's just getting a little bit of fatigue into his legs. He's played a lot of games, played so many roles different weeks as well. So yeah, I'll say a lot of games. We're just at the start of the season, but you get what I mean. A lot of games given the start of the season, and a lot of minutes, and most of them 10 men against Palace had a big performance there. So yeah, maybe just needed a quick refresh, get them legs ready for Sunday. But I'd give Declan Rice a 7. Still brilliant, still into tackles and interceptions, reading the game well, giving those basics. And I think that's probably going to be the lowest that you're going to give Declan Rice in a game this season, a 7, which is ridiculous, by the way, because he's got someone with the capability to go to an 8, 9. If he can do what Rodri does and take these games to even the next level in front of goal, scoring more, getting into the edge of the box, being another threat. I want to see him take more shots, but that will come with time. It didn't happen for Rodri straight away. Let's remember. I need to remember that. When I'm watching him score, it feels like every other game now. I'm thinking that's what Declan Rice can do, and I know he's got the ability, the technical ability with his shooting, left and right foot, and the positioning, the timing in his runs to get into those areas of the pitch, the danger, the tight feet in and around zone 14 where it gets a bit hectic. But he's got it all. He has got it all, and we start. And even though he's been fantastic, there's still room for him to grow, and where he can be one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, not just the Premier League. He's already seen as that by a lot of the people within the game. Arteta, hence why we spent so much money on him. But for the casuals, I'd say, and for him to really come up against Rodri and we can have serious conversations, needs to put the ball in the back of the net a bit more. But tonight, excellent. That's more for another conversation and probably a longer podcast with other people as well chiming in. But Declan Rice, 7. Kai Havertz, I feel if I give him a 7, I would have to give him a 0.5. So you get it. Higher 7 for me, closer to an 8. I'm not doing 0.5, so I don't know. I feel like it's sitting on the fence when you do that. I'm going to give him a 7. Much better tonight, and he looks comfortable even playing at centre forward as well, dropping in deep. He probably looks a little bit more comfortable, but he's got so many tools to his arsenal. He's like a Swiss Army knife, Kai Havertz. With his touch, he's looking a lot more confident in midfield, protecting the ball, shielding it, doing little flicks with his chest over players, getting in between. The physical battle, he's all for it. I can see BX saying a 6.5. BX, my bro, nah, man, not tonight. He was brilliant. Yeah, in the box, I think there's still levels that he needs to improve. Snatching a little bit of chances. There was one with his right foot, which he hit well over the bar, skied it. And then when he clipped one over to Gabriel Jesus, I think he should have done better there and maybe could have even faked it. But, I'm nitpicking. That's what I was meant to say earlier, nitpicking. But in the box, he can improve. That's why I don't want to give him an 8. But yeah, I'll give him a 7. Overall performance, much better. Had a big part to play in the 4th goal as well for Odegaard, stretching the defense, moving it from right to left. That's where I think the reason why he looks better moments when he plays it centre forward, when he moves into that right channel, that just seems to be much more suited for the angles that he likes to operate in. Of course, moving from right to left onto his stronger foot, rather than when he's going from that left side running down into the channels. Made some good runs again, but it feels like we say that all the time. But defensively is where he really shot me, and this is the levels with Kai Havertz here, and this is something that has really surprised me. He looks better defensively, and he's been a real asset for us defensively in the counter press, winning his duels excellently, covering a lot of ground, being a nuisance, being a hard player to get past as well. So yeah, Kai Havertz, brilliant. 7 for me. Martin Odegaard, when we're talking about one of the contenders for man of the match, I'm going to have to slap this guy on 9. Yeah, outstanding tonight. Sharp, in and around the box, tight feet, taking a lot of risks with his passing, which is what we want to see a lot from our creative midfielder. If he's going to get to the Kevin De Bruyne levels and the upper echelons of the best creative midfielders in the world, which he already is, Ballon d'Or nominee. So let's not disrespect him like that there. But to really get to that, and he's starting to do that more and more for me, and taking more risks with his shooting, with his passes. I'm loving it. I loved his performance tonight. A pleasure to watch. And I'm jealous of those fans that was at the stadium experiencing that Champions League night and getting to watch the likes of Martin Odegaard control, pass, and kick a football in the certain little movements that he makes. That's why he scores so many goals, and he's added them to his game now. A joy to watch play football. Norway, you are blessed to have him, and Arsenal, we are blessed to have him too. But that's because we invested in him too as well. His stocks were low. We gave him the opportunity. We signed him. We waited. We held out when everyone wanted Buendia. Shout out Tom. When everyone was wanting Madison, Egal. I'm calling them out. I'm doing a muss here, calling them out. A joy to watch play football, and he just keeps improving and getting better. How old is the lad? How old is Martin Odegaard? Giza. How old is he? He's 24 years of age. Ay. Same age as me. Yeah. He's even younger than me, actually. He's born in December. 17th December, in fact. So what a footballer, and what a man, and what a leader we have. We've got so many leaders within our team now. Across the front three, Bukayo Saka. I said it earlier. I still don't think he's at his brilliant, sharp best, but he's still performing at a ridiculously high level that not many right wingers or many wingers at all in the world are getting to, because he's that good. And I still think there's levels for him to get to. Maybe I'm saying that because the Achilles problem that he's carrying is in the back of my mind, but it's not really too much because I don't care about that, because many footballers are carrying things. I'm sure there's probably more than Bukayo Saka carrying something on that pitch right now. But the output he's able to have, the impact on games, the goals, the assists, the decision making, the finishing off of both feet, he's really improving in that aspect. I remember when Saka came into the first team, brilliant carrying the ball, decision making. It's really what stood out to me with his pass, weight of pass, decision, and when to timing it of the passes too. But the shooting, even with his left foot, left a little bit to be desired. I know he scored on his Europa League debut, on his first start actually. Yeah, he scored in that game. Was it his first start? It might have been, yeah, for Arsenal under Unai Emery. But yeah, and it was a wonderful finish there, but it wasn't consistent enough. He built on consistency, and that he got that left foot finish on lock. And then we're like, you need to improve on your right foot. He done that as well. Now he's putting them into the back of the net, half while he's rebounding shots with his right foot and finishing them with ease. The guy, sky is the limit. What can be what the best in that position. Another player we're blessed to have and come out of Hale End. Outstanding footballer. Defense. Do you know what? What did I give Odegaard? 9. Yeah. I'm going to give him 8. Shall I tell you what? Just defensively, that's it. In the first half, I thought he was a bit late to some things, and this is what Arteta will be speaking to him as well. Us as fans, we're not really going to be noticing them too much, but you know, I look into things like higher, deep, too deep sometimes. I probably overthink them a little bit, but yeah, just his timing, getting back wasn't quite there, and Dest and Lang were causing a few problems. Just thankfully, Benjamin White, Saliba, Declan Rice, Odegaard were there covering back. So yeah, maybe he's lacking something physically, just to try and can't quite get there. But yeah, still performing brilliantly and still goals and assists. And that's what you ultimately judged on. Left wing, Leandro Trossard, I'm going to give him a 9, matched it with Odegaard. It's going to be hard separating them. Wow, what a player. Losing Martinelli, a player of that enigma, that talent, that level of player, you think that he'll have a detrimental effect. We've not missed him at all because Leandro Trossard's given us something different. And yes, we lose something with his direct pace and then down that line. And if we lost Martinelli for a longer term, maybe we'd start to notice it more against certain opponents where we need that direct 1v1 ability out wide, where we need that injection of pace. But what Trossard gives you is something completely different. When there is a double up in there, he's still able to pick a pass, left foot, right foot, drop inside, into switch with the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, have a goal threat from any angle, it feels like. When the ball is in the box, he's got the composure and he sits players down and picks out the right pass or shot or time at the right time. He's just got so much to his arsenal once again. I have to put that in there. Outstanding player, another a joy to watch when he's in motion, fluid, timings, movement, his runs are outstanding. And a wonderful player again, Leandro Trossard. I'm just in awe of watching some of these Arsenal players, you know. We have come from the trenches. Let's not forget. Yeah. No, I don't even want to call out players. I don't want to disrespect them like that. Still professional footballers. What you get me? Like some of the players that we've seen over the years would have killed for a Trossard, player of his ability, and now we've got him as not a backup, because I don't think any of them are backups, but someone's getting rotational minutes, not even a guaranteed starter. And let's say if we have our best team fully fit and available, are you starting Trossard? That's a question. That is a question indeed. But he certainly make a case for himself, and he will be starting on Sunday, even if Gabriel Martinelli's fit for me. But Mikel Arteta is, you know, he's a bit mad, isn't he? So he might start Martinelli, and it wouldn't still mean Trossard couldn't have an impact on the game. But yeah, Trossard, is speechless. That's all I am. And Gabriel Jesus, if I've given Trossard a 9, Saka an 8, Odegaard a 9, I'm going to give Gabriel Jesus a 9 for that performance. Do you want to give him a 9 or an 8? I can guess you can kind of tell I'm not going to give him man of the match, but he's up there. I'd say he should have scored another. Should have scored another indeed. But these are the reason why our attack is looking much better, much more fluid indeed. Fantastic footballer and one of the entertainers to watch in this league. One of the entertainers and another player we're blessed to have. Conversations will be had about Gabriel Jesus towards the end of the season. Let's please stay fit. That's why I'm saying the end of the season, because we need him to stay fit. We know how important he is, and the links between for another number 9 or another striker that will be there. I'll take that. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it indeed. But we'll have to talk more about it in depth on that on another show. 8. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8 just because I thought Martin Odegaard, Trossard, just that bit better. But I'm sorry, they're not better. They're not performing at that level without Gabriel Jesus. Odegaard and Martin and Trossard. They're not performing at that level without him because he just connects us so well. And yeah, a tremendous footballer with an understanding, unselfish runs, dropping deep, and some of the touches. Oh, out of this world. Just in awe. I'm watching this game back before the Tottenham game. I'm definitely watching this. I haven't watched the Everton game back because it was a bit of a. It wasn't great. It wasn't. It was controlled, and I think you can kind of learn a lot from the Everton game from watching it one time. This one, you'll learn even more things, and I probably might even change my player ratings. Just quickly on the substitutes before I get into your comments and then wrap this up. Jorginho, he came on the 76th minute, 7 for me. Great finisher, calm on the ball, winning free kicks, just keeps it moving, takes the sting out of the game, allows us to control a lot more. Takedo Tomiyasu, I'm going to give a 7 as well. Looking a lot more confident, isn't he, when he comes on the pitch? And that started from the Man United game. He played well against Crystal Palace, but in possession, taking that inverted role, he's just looked like he's gone to another level. This is a conversation we're going to need to have about Takedo Tomiyasu, guys. This is what I mean. The other thing is he needs to stay fit, similar to Jesus. Now it's just all about getting consistent game times, consistent minutes for Takedo Tomiyasu, because what I'm seeing from there, my days, we lost something with Timber, but it seems like it's given Tomiyasu and Newton and more of an impetus and saying, yeah, you forgot about me, you guys. People don't talk about me as one of the best defenders at Arsenal. And once upon a time, he was the starting right back and he was one of the first names on the team sheet, but only injuries took that away from him and a loss of form and confidence. And it's something that he's admitted himself personally. Tomiyasu 7, grown in confidence and his ability playing off both feet. What a player, man. What a player we've got. We've got a serious squad. I'm in dreamland with the squad. On Sunday, don't burst my bubble. Don't take me out of dreamland. I want to keep being there. Reece Nelson, outstanding. A threat, taking shots when shouldn't have taken shots. Frustrates me a little bit when he does that. But I don't care when a striker does that. In game, it frustrates me. But if I'm watching it back, I don't care because that's what I want my attacker to do. Whatever they're doing, as long as you do it with confidence and do it with your chest, essentially. That's as long as you do that with your chest, it will come off for you. You take enough shots, you will score goals. You make enough crosses, dangerous passes, you will get assists. And that's what I want with conviction. As long as you do it with conviction, I'm all right with it. Even if it doesn't work out, some people criticize, and that's where I think people are nitpicking. If you go, pause in that moment. I see Man United fans doing it. It bugs me. Let's pause in that moment. Let's play football in screenshots. I saw someone say, let's play football like a score hero, where it's frozen and then you make a decision. No, that's not how the game's played. And we don't see and players don't see from the angles that we do as well at times. That's where you got to give massive praise when there's a ball that's been played. You're screaming from the TV, but they've picked it out. Because that might not be as obvious to see from our armchairs. But with Reece Nelson taking shots, being decisive, love it. 7 for me. Fabio Vieira, he's a serious guy now, yeah. He's a serious player when he comes off of that bench. Some of the touches, the runs, had a big part to play in that 4th goal as well. Hey, was it the 4th goal? Was it the 4th goal he had a big part to play in? Or am I bugging? No, I'm not sure if he did, but yeah, he had a big contribution and we could have scored some more when he came on a pitch. 7.5 I'd like to give. Let's go for an 8. I'm going to go for an 8 off the bench for Fabio Vieira. Emil Smith-Rowe, 7. How great it is to see him. How great it is to see some minutes. And he was looking sharp. No, I wouldn't say he was looking at his sharp best, but he was looking a lot sharper than he did when he came on at points last season. I'm really looking forward to seeing him get more minutes. The crowd love him. I love him to bits when he's playing, and when he's at full flow, getting those 1-2s into play. He offers us something different as well. My only issue with Emil Smith-Rowe, I can understand Arteta not starting him in a lot of games, is defensively. That's what he needs to improve on. But what I know he can give us on that left channel in particular, whether it's in that left 8 position where Havertz takes, or from the left wing, that quick, sharp interplay, similar to what Trossard can give you as well. And he can give you goals. We've seen it. We have seen it too. So Emil Smith role 7. And that wraps up my player ratings. Before I give my man of the match, I want to see you all. We're going to go big up to each and every one of you in the chat. We've got a few latecomers in here. Really appreciate you, those of you who are watching here in the UK. It is late. It definitely is. And those of you watching from the far west, or if you're watching in the far east, good morning to you, and good afternoon or good evening to you in the west too as well. It's one game. I think he's talking about Odegaard here. Okay, being a stand, but don't lose perspective. Oh, Moss and Barg are having a chat in there. Odegaard, man of the match for me, says Wes Bird. That's your man of the match. Thanks for sharing those of my shower thoughts. More shower thoughts to come on the channel. Don't you worry. I think Ramsdale will play in the Premier League and Raya in the CL and Cup stuff, but I could be wrong. I don't even think it's based on a competition thing, Wes. I just think it's more based on an opponent and how someone is performing in training. And we won't be able to predict. I think Ramsdale will play on Sunday. Not Ramsdale. Raya will play on Sunday, given what we see in there. But that situation could change. Not for Sunday's game, but after that, based on Raya's performance, based on performance in training. I think Ramsdale will play against Brentford. That's where he definitely will. And Raya will be on the bench. I know Brentford gave us permission to play Raya in that. So we do have the choice if we want to play him in there too. But Ramsdale will play against Brentford, I do believe. So yeah, I just think the rotation thing with goalkeepers, again, I could talk about this for ages because I'm trying to understand it myself and trying to get other people to. The demands on goalkeepers are a lot more than what they used to be. So there is room for rotation. There is room to make more changes in there where there wasn't previously before, because physically the demand on goalkeepers is a lot more. Technically the demand is, mentally it is too, to be concentrated in and out of possession with your positioning, how high you're staying up the pitch, how to stop and counteract against long balls, how technically you have to be aware your options, your passing options. You can't just go long booting it anymore. If you are being pressed and in danger and feeling uncomfortable, because you'll just turn over possession, and then as you're not in your rest defense, you're able to or not in your rest defense, sorry, not in your positions to be ready for that. You're in a transition, that's when you're most vulnerable. If you just go direct, so there is more demands for goalkeepers that we need to be a little bit more enlightened to than there was previously. So I think there is room for rotation, even though yes, it's not really been seen like that before. Big up to my bro Nav in the building. Love to see you in here, man. Long time, my bro. Hope you're doing good yourself. That's what I like to see in here. Let's see. Wes Bird says Saka not being at his best for a little while, but still producing quality at times. I think it's harder for him as defenders are working him out a little. I don't think it's about defenders working him out, to be honest, Wes Bird, because I think Saka's been quite, in terms, predictable what he can do throughout the years. I just think he's so good at it. He's unstoppable. You know, that Iron Robin type thing. Everyone knew what Iron Robin was going to do, but he could do it at such speed, such technical assurance and security. You just can't stop it. I think that's the same with Saka. You know when he's going to go right. He's just physically stronger than you. He's got that good sharp burst and that good balance, where you can't get tight to him. If you get tight to him, he can roll you. If you don't get tight to him, he can play 1-2s around you. He can still, and then he can make a cross or a pass or shot that will devastate and make you think maybe I should have got tighter. He's just that good. But yeah, I do agree with you though in saying that he's not at his best. He's not. And that's my boy. And that's my favourite Arsenal player. And he's not at his best. Let's have a look. That's what Harry does. I'm doing that. Odegaard amazing is not the anomaly bar, Gav, but MA haters being negative about Odegaard. That is the real anomaly. Sorry, anomaly. 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 It's late. It's late. Realist in the building, my bro. Big up to yourself, man. Great result for you. Unfortunate for you. I'd say unfortunate. Yeah, I haven't seen the game. I haven't seen it. Big up to yourself. Bruno lovers and Odegaard lovers should exchange notes over coffee at this point. You guys don't get differences. Hey, let's be guys. I know you two. It gets heated and that, but look, yeah, I know. But yeah, I love you though. I love you guys. I do love you, Bargav, and I do love you, Moss. I do. Don't you worry about that. Let's see. Lol, footballing screenshots. Exactly. People are wild. I can't stand it. It's one of my pet hates about this. What I see on social media now. Oh, players should pass it here. Yeah, they should. But it happens. Okay. Like, let's not criticize so much on it. If it's a repeated offense, then yes. But let's not play football in a screenshot, please. This ain't FIFA. This ain't Football Manager. Try and get on that pitch yourself. Well, seriously, that's what separates the great and the good from the great. Do you know what I mean? I look forward to to the shower thoughts. And yeah, you'll see my shower thoughts come to life on Friday. Oh, yeah, I will be doing the Premier League preview show on Friday. Indeed. Big up to everyone. And what I'm going to say is just for my man of the match for tonight. Do I give it to Martin Odegaard? No. I'm going to give it to Leandro Trossard. Martin Odegaard, certainly up there. One of them who deserves it. Leandro Trossard. He's taking it. Man of the match on Sunday. Was he? Probably Ben White. Okay, but he's definitely taking it tonight. For me, Leandro Trossard, man of the match. I'm hearing it for Martin Odegaard. I'm hearing it for Jesus. I'm even hearing it for Saliba. I'm hearing it for Saka. So many players. Benjamin White in there. You could throw anyone. Outstanding performance. And loving it, guys and people. I'm going to wrap this up here. Get myself ready for some sleep. Thank you. I said it was going to be a short one. 1 hour. Is that short for me? Probably. But love to you all. Arsenal win in their first Champions League group game by 4-0. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section if you are watching this afterwards. And yeah, we'll be back Friday for the Premier League preview show. Tomorrow's Europa League games, let them get out of the way. And then Friday Premier League preview show, we're looking ahead to the Tottenham game. Aston Villa are playing Chelsea, of course, as well. So we've got plenty. So guys, do love you all. Really appreciate you all for coming in here as well. You guys are the greatest and you guys make it a lot easier. And it's great chat as well in here. And I know there's a lot of disagreements, but that's football, man. That's what I love. I love it when people disagree with me about football, to be honest, because it challenges me, makes me think on my toes a little bit more. And yeah, we just have a lot of banter. I need to bring back the watch-alongs, though. That's a fact. I need to bring back more of the biscuit talk. Speaking of biscuits, have you seen the white chocolate digestives? I need to try them. Still need to. Talking about this with one of my colleagues at work last week, and yeah, maybe I might have to try them. Going on holiday soon, though, so I'm trying to, I'm trying to save off a little bit. Otherwise, I'll be putting on a bit too much weight. Still need to lose some, but that's one more watch along talk, guys. Love you all. God bless you, and I hope you enjoy your Thursday night. As Arsenal are back in the chat. I can't sing it too loud because my mom's trying to sleep. But you get it, people. The champions. Good night.